Hi, this is John Dorbolo, and I want to walk through the consent form and process for the political anxiety and stress group PASS. This is the rules of engagement and kind of the expectations. Let me say in advance that if the expectations that I communicate are not what you believe you can do, you can hold to, well, then get a hold of me and let's talk and figure out, what we can do. I have to have some degree of assent and consent for moving forward with this professionally, so that we kind of all agree on what it is that we're doing and not doing, so that we don't run into misunderstandings in the future. So let me walk through the pieces here. You can refer to the consent form, which I'm asking you to read and sign and date, and then give back to me. And, that way we will be sure that we're working together in a way that's beneficial to you. So the purpose of the group is to create a context where you and other individuals can experience responses to the anxiety that you feel as a result of political, social, and global environment events. Things are going on in the world, things are going on in the country, in the locality, and they have effects. The media, hits us up with these constantly, and we feel it. I believe most people in the world are experiencing this right now. And I want to be super clear that to have anxiety over the political and social world is not in and of itself a disorder, nor is any indication of mental dysfunction. It's actually pretty normal. It may be connected to some other, but there are specific categories and diagnostics for anxiety disorders. The research is pretty clear that this is not one of them, because anxiety is a normal part of our lives, and we're experiencing a lot of distressful talk, action, and information, and we're responding to it. So that's what we're out to do. We want to engage one another in an open and respectful way, to share our experiences and offer mutual support for those experiences. This is not a substitute for professional therapy, medical treatment, psychological counseling. And if you need any of those, please seek them. I can refer you to them. That's not what I'm doing here. There's no cost to you. It's limited in duration to 10 sessions. That's the agenda that I've set up. That's a different document. Video. It's non-transactional. We're not going to charge you anything. I'm not accepting donations for the cost incurred. It's a pro bono activity offered by me, John Louis Dorbolo. My participating in this doesn't imply a professional or personal obligation by me. The obligation by me is to run the group well and to give you credible, evidence-based information. What we're doing is we're exploring evidence-based means of addressing the feelings of anxiety that are resulting from political, social, global events. And so here's the agreement. We are ideologically agnostic. There could be any number of points of view in this group, different political ideas or affiliations, ideologies, faiths, and it's an opportunity for us to explore interpersonal support rather than debate or advocacy for some position. Other people who have a completely different political view than your own also experience anxiety, and that's not that different from yours. And so what we're doing is looking at that shared experience, not the causes of the experience. So this means that we employ mutual respect and civility to engage other people with a sense of empathy, free from hostility, personal attack on them, or even on the political figures or concepts that they may adhere to. Differences in opinion are welcome, speak them out, but all the discussions have to remain civil. And we're not going to talk about politics. We're not going to talk about the environment. We're not going to talk about economy. We're not going to talk about war and peace. We're not going to talk about presidential policies or executive orders or immigration or any of those issues. Look, there's places that you can go to talk about those. I'm all in favor of you doing so, and I'm trying to set up a context in which you could feel more settled in order to go have those conversations with less fear. One of the ideas. But you can go to a town hall, you can go to a political rally, you can go to a demonstration, you can go to a city council meeting, any number of these, and have that that discussion or argument or debate or whatever you want about these issues. I'm pretty much sure of one thing. At any of those events, you're not going to have a focus on your feelings of anxiety. You're not going to have a purpose from that group on reducing your sense of distress. So you can go to those and have the content. I say that there's a place to carve out where we focus on the personal, subjective experience of the effects of those things without having to rehearse the arguments over them. Now, we want this to be, in the end, I'm going to make the call on what's acceptable within the group. I don't expect to have to do much about that because I think people are pretty aware of this, and we're going to gain our group personality with respect to what it is that we think is appropriate and not appropriate in the group. And even if somebody goes off, well, let's have some forgiveness of that. Let it go, let it pass, and then get back to the topic. Okay? I'm not going to bounce somebody just because they have some kind of expression of, in the moment. But we do want to do what we can to remain confidential. Now, this is a group, and the group's under no legal or, otherwise obligation. And so there's no way to really enforce or guarantee the confidentiality by other participants. What I'm asking you is to keep the identities of other people private. Talk about them, don't talk about what they said. You could talk about what you said or what I said, but I would leave other people out of it just for the purpose of confidentiality. I can't guarantee that, though. There is no medical or therapeutic objective here. This is not professional treatment, therapy, or medical advice. If you require professional assistance, you should seek qualified mental health or medical professionals, and we can help you find referrals for those. But we're not affiliated with any part of any existing organization or Oregon State University for whom I work. This is independent of all of that. And what I'm doing is we're exploring evidence-based, meaning it's found in the research literature, with a solid track record of success, sharing those with one another so that we can self-direct our own self-regulation in this, and that's the end product. with that, I can't guarantee any outcomes or benefits from the participation. I have a strong belief that there are, and my experience tells me that there are, but I can't say for sure that there will be for you. And you give me feedback on whether they do or don't. Okay, look, this is critical. Your safety, your personal safety, and the safety of others is paramount. There is no issue that we face that's more important than that in this context. So if at any time you feel that you could use counseling or therapy for yourself, then seek out a qualified professional, ask, and we'll look for ways to refer you if necessary. You may encounter other people who have difficulties with coping with the situation, and it's necessary to have the information to help them to overcome those crises. These emotional crises and personal crises descend upon us and actually create threat for a person's well-being are temporary, and it takes very little intervention to move us past them. And so these, what I'm about to give you, are the critical information for intervention to have at hand. There are local resources, there are people, you can turn to people that you know, but a key is 988. That's the crisis mental health lifeline that you can call 24/7 at no cost, confidential, to talk to a professional about what's happening in the moment. And don't second guess whether it's important or not. If it raises itself in your mind as significant, then go ahead and make the call. Doesn't do any harm to call. You can also go online at 988lifeline.org to chat or text with a professional. If at any time that you sense a danger to your life or the lives of others, then the emergency hotline 911 is critical. 988 is the mental health equivalent or analogy to 911. And I ask you, if you don't have it in your phone, put it into your phone, 988. Because you may encounter another person who needs that help in the moment, and you will have that available for them. Don't overlook this. It's a part that, when it occurs, it's irreparable. And so we want to make sure that we're all equipped with the resources to be able to move past the crises and then to deal with our issues. So, participation in the political anxiety and stress group PASS is voluntary on your part. You can leave anytime that you want, whether you feel uncomfortable or uninterested, no longer wish to attend. I understand you can come to some and maybe not others, and that's why I make these videos, because people may not be at a certain session, and I want to be able to provide them with at least the information that was produced in the session. And what I'm doing here. So will you read over that consent form, and then if you agree to the parts of it which you've just discussed, put your name, your signature, and the date, and then give back the hard copy to me. I'll make a copy of it, and then you can keep the hard copy if you want. But this is the way that we'll proceed. And I tell you, I'm really happy that you're here. I'm looking forward to working with you.